So today's one a day. It's the end of the world as we know it. Are you all tired of procrastinating? How many opportunities have you missed? And there is no such thing as procrastination. Guess what it is? It's hesitation. And as soon as you start to feel a little bit of hesitation, if you went like that and snap this, if you snap this band and you were to say 3, 2, 1 right away, you would move on whatever made you a little bit scared and totally excited. There is no procrastination. You're a procrastinator. You're lazy. No, the person isn't. They're a hesitator because they're scared they'll fail. They're scared they'll get laughed at. And that's what happens. You are humiliated the first day you go to school. You're humiliated by your family, your neighbors, your friends, because they've been humiliated. Because we allow systems to humiliate us. And that's why they call it adulterated. Every adult humiliates other adults. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, all right. So there you go. So hesitation is the problem. From now on, if you start to feel excited about something and it starts to go into anxiety, 3, 2, 1, I got this. Right away say it. And guess what? You'll still dump adrenaline. You'll still dump adrenaline. But guess what you'll do? When you dump adrenaline and you get excited, it turns into a whole different type of fuel. It's called rocket fuel, baby. And when you, dump adrenaline and you stay with anxiety, you go into a free fall crash. I don't hesitate with anything, and I don't need your approval. I don't need any of your approval to do anything that I want to do that's based on unconditional love for myself and the world. And I don't need your approval. I don't need the approval from the majority of the population. So understand, it's not procrastination, it's hesitation. You hesitate for more than 1 second on your dreams, they're gone. And you can actually be derailed, not for one day, but for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. Welcome to going back and reclaiming your 5-year-old self. How does it feel to be distracted for 50 years, for 40 years? How about that? So it's the end of the world as we know it, and thank God. You know, you can all complain about what's been going on in the last 3 years, but your life sucked before that. Because if you've got sucky beliefs, your life sucks. If you're using everybody as a nipple for your love, and if you have poverty consciousness that there's not enough of this, not enough of that, then guess what? It always did suck. The reality is that these psychos gave us the best gift we've ever got. You know, they're saying, are you going to stand up? Are you going to stand up for yourself? There's 8 billion of you against a few 100,000. And guess what? You can't even stand up for yourself. You can't even come together. So anyways, Mindy Harley, who's building the new BraveHeart Nation app, for phones, you know, she says, well, we need a tagline. And I said, there's only one tagline: rise together. Rise together. And you know what? We'll rise together, but don't expect to have people out there rising with you. Don't expect anything except this. 1 out of 10,000 people will become enlightened. 1 out of 1,000 people will become a Braveheart, and that's all we need. Stop whining, groaning, and moaning, because the majority is never going to buy into this. They never have. Okay, this is the 6th extinction we're going into. Extinction does not mean everybody dies. I believe that at least 30 people are going to knock themselves off. They don't even need help from the psychos. Take a look at people. They're eating, they're drinking, and they're talking and thinking themselves to death. How many times do you want to die today? How many times do you want to die? I'm not going to buy into your BS. I'm not going to buy into anybody's BS. Yes, I feel for everyone. I feel for everyone that doesn't use their feelings as an actual barometer to their life. If you're not feeling good, change it. Stop terrorizing yourself and your family. Yes, I get it. There's fires in Spain. There's fires in Hawaii. There's fires in Kelowna. There's fires everywhere. We know how they're getting started. But guess what? We need to stay brave-hearted and understand something. The majority of the population is never going to buy into becoming a hero for themselves. They're always going to be waiting for someone to come and save them, whether it's on a religious belief, a political belief, or where's my white knight in shining armor that's going to rush me away to my Disney movie? It's the end of the world as we know it, and I just love it. I just think it's beautiful. The reality is that you can believe it or not believe it. And this isn't me saying I'm any better than anyone, because I'm not. I'm just not scared of anyone. I'm not scared of myself. Okay, I love the present moment. I own it. I don't know how many I have, and I'm not going to waste them. And you go ahead and do it. I already told you the first day of the course, the first 10 minutes of the course, I said if you could unconditionally love yourself, right now you could go and get your money back from Lori at the end of the day and go home. I wasn't kidding. All you have to do is unconditionally love yourself and put yourself first, and you will never be putting your family second. Because as long as you put your family first, that means that you're up on the cross every day. That means that you are going to evaluate, you're going to be evaluating on what you did for them and what they gave back. Every one of you mothers and fathers have said, listen, the little pricks, they don't appreciate us. Well, that's because you don't appreciate yourself. That's because you didn't make everybody do what they needed to do that they could do for themselves. Too bad, you're wore out. You're not enjoying yourself. You're running around trying to get everybody's approval. You take everything personal because you don't know your authentic self, and you don't even know what unconditional love is. I know most of you have cracked your coconut. Is it going to stay that way when you go home? Because your family's not going to like it. Remember something, and you may not believe this, and you'll say, no, that's not true, Daryl. But I guarantee you that most of you, okay, why are you angry? Guys, am I angry? No. Listen to me. Stop being a bloody victim. Do you want to know something? Does it work? Everybody's talking about this and that, and nobody does it. You got to wake people up. You got to be dramatic. You got to get it into them. Listen to me. The lady who just said, Mickey, why you say I'm angry? I'm not angry. I'm not here for you, Mickey. I'm here for the people that are going, holy crap, he just woke me up. That's right. I want to love myself. I want to care for myself. Mickey, you know what? If I get one person out of 10,000 people that are on right now, I won. That's more than most people are doing. Most health practitioners will come on here and go, yes, food combining is a very important thing. Or there's poisons in your food. We already know that. But the most important thing that you would ever need to know is how to unconditionally love yourself. If you did, I wouldn't have to tell you what's poison and not poison. Because only people, Mickey, that think I'm angry, Mickey, are injured, Mickey, that are hurt, Mickey. My husband used to yell at me like that. I'm not yelling at anyone. I'm trying to get through to people that, guess what? They're being used and abused. What?
Oh, he said, I see passion, not anger, someone else said.
Well, that's right. Well, it doesn't matter. Mickey's going to see angry. Yeah. Fred is going to see passion because Fred wants to rise. Mickey's still sucking on the nipples. You know, and that's it. And Mickey can be pissed at me right now. Might as well. I got people on TikTok going, he just wants your money. He's got a cult going. Yeah, and it's probably Mickey's friends. And I'll tell you something, Mickey needs to stop being a mouse and start being a lion BraveHeart and start understanding what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to break through. So somebody might come on here one time and they are suicidal or they believe there's no way out. And then they hear this outrageous guy go, yes, there is. It's called unconditional love for yourself and the whole world. I am going to get excited, Mickey. So if that's bringing your blood pressure up, then Mickey, you need to find a new platform. I am done. Victimitis is the only virus that's taking people down right now. I'm over it. I'm over it. And guess what? If I was really after everybody's money, then I'd just tell you what you want to hear. It's okay, Mickey. It's okay, Billy. It's going to be okay. It's not going to be okay until you find your BraveHeart way. It's not going to be okay. You need to become your own hero. You're going to be zero. They're not after me. They're after the low-hanging fruit that goes, don't yell at me. You're angry. And then you break down. You give them whatever they want. Okay, just remember that. Okay? You don't get to be free. You have to roar to be free. And I'm not talking about going to war. I said roar. And I'm roaring to wake up the lions out there. The sheep aren't going to like it. They're going to go, bah! I'm not making fun of anyone, but you know, it's enough is enough. Enough is enough. Why is the world ending? The world is ending like we know it. Let me tell you something. The world has always been ending. Okay, remember? Russia was going to invade us. Okay, guys, every day the world's ending for people. Okay, every day the world's just beginning for a BraveHeart. A BraveHeart minds their own business, doesn't watch the news. They make the news. Do you understand? Okay, guess what? From the moment you rise until you close your eyes, you're making unconditional love to yourself and the world. You focus on only what you want. Everybody, what were you saying the first few days? I've got a lot of work to do. And I'll go, no, you got a lot of loving to do. You got a lot of self-loving to do. A lot of self-caring to do. And your family's not going to let you do that. Religion doesn't like when you do it. The government doesn't like what you do it because guess what? Most places have free health care. And it's not free. You're being sold off by the pound. Nothing's free. Let me tell you something. You can either struggle to find your true authentic self, or you can just struggle like the majority and never live your passion, your purpose. I've said it before, and people go, you know, Dr. Wolf, you know, you're out there too much. You know that natural health practitioners have been murdered. You know, like, really? Really, guys? Let me just tell you something. I'd rather be me and authentic and tell the truth as I know it. And remember something, when I'm speaking out, this is my platform, I'm reinforcing my beliefs that I deserve everything I want and that the world is unlimited and you are only limited by your beliefs and the sky's not the limit because your beliefs are the limit and I have no limit. Is that okay? But you go ahead and stay within your beliefs. That's okay. I didn't tell anybody to change. Like I said, I'm here to wake up the lions. I'm not here to herd the sheep. I'm not here to herd the sheep. That's way too much work. That's why what I told you this week is when you start your practice, whole life coach, non-surgical, you're not looking for people that have these autoimmune diseases and these life-threatening diseases. You're not looking to go out there and have this challenge to try to get someone to love themselves. You want people that care for themselves enough that they say, look, I want to know how to create the perfect day in every way on an emotional and physical, nutritional level from the moment I rise until I close my eyes. And then I want to shine that light on my family and the world. What do you actually think? For one thing, I don't believe that anybody has an ego. So you can't kill an ego. You've got lack of confidence, believe it or not. That's all it ever is. It's always just lack of confidence because your beliefs. There's no such thing as an ego when they tell you to go kill your ego. So what do you want me to do? Go kill the strongest part of me, the part that makes me spread my wings and fly above the chaos and let everybody just gobble like turkeys? I'm not gonna participate. I'm not participating. And the reality is this. This planet, from the very beginning, said, could you come together with unconditional love for yourself and everyone else, and then these cycles would never be able to control you. They're not worried about love. They're not worried about you loving each other, because that's a contaminated issue. They are totally freaked out about you actually loving yourself, because that means you'll respect yourself You won't disrespect yourself. You won't buy their alcohol. You won't buy their drugs. You won't eat 98% of the food in a supermarket. You will not eat 75% of the food in a health food store. You will not go through a drive-through. You will drive 15 minutes to get something good to eat. You will do juicing. You will do fasting. You will honor, respect, and care for yourself, and then do that with your family. You will break away, you will open up your coconut, and you will recreate belief systems that are strong so you live long. You will not be harvested. You will not be sold off by the pound. Surgery will always be your last option. The only drug that you will have is self-care and self-love, dumping dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, and walking around high all the time with a slight smile where people think you're autistic, but you don't care. The majority are outrageous. And I'm here to piss them off a little bit. It's true. Did I kind of irk you the first time? Kind of like, whoa, what did he just do? Well, understand something, guys. If I don't act like this, it's not going to happen. Okay? It's not going to happen. Unless I'm a trauma. Let's do this, right? Let's be big. Let's be bigger than life. Let's not be small. Every one of you came here and said, I just want to stand out and find myself, because you can't find yourself unless you want to stand out, right? But you got to have an understanding that you got to go inside, and then when you go in there and you find that God spot in your heart, boy, you unleash. You unleash. And you can never go back there, because when you go home, your family's going to say, you're disrespecting us now. Have you joined a cult? So if you don't go home and continually emotionally and physically abuse yourself and your family, then you joined a cult. Tell me that we're not programmed. Now, if any of you start going in, excuse me, hairball. If any of you go to the airport and start selling flowers, then maybe we could be. You have to understand that if you want to learn how to love and care for yourself, you're going to have to ignore what the majority of the population think. And I mean that in the most loving way possible. Okay, is the majority of the population, do they have a disease? Like that they've actually been diagnosed with? When there is no disease, which is just a symptom that nobody knows how to treat, which is just a message from their body saying, why can't you love me? But they're incapable. That's it. That's it. And that's why there are 100 times more natural health practitioners than medical practitioners. Nobody's getting healthy because these natural health practitioners don't love themselves either, do they? They've got all kinds of addictions. But the reality, if you disrespect yourself, that's what you can teach, right? If you love, honor, and respect yourself, you're a freak. You're a freak. I threaten almost everyone, to the point that they have to just BS. I mean, I'm places and doing things that I couldn't even be there because I'm in the wrong country. Until you threaten people a little bit without threatening them, just by loving and honoring, respecting yourself, you're not even where you need to be. So until you threaten your family and your friends, and I don't mean threaten them with anything, you're threatening them with more smiles. They're right, you're happy. You don't need to battle. You don't need to protest anymore. What if we didn't protest? You know, most of the people that actually protest, do they eat right? Do they live right? Do they treat themselves right? Do they treat their children right? I can tell you it's not true. And do a lot of people that protest have a lot of anger sometimes? Or they might have a lot of resentment or a lot of frustration? And is that making them sick? And when you're frustrated and you're angry, Do you make a salad? Do you hug people? Do you hug yourself? Do you take care for what you say? Or do you spout off? The reality is this: if we minded our own business, it would all be over. It would already be over, but it's never going to be over because the majority are never going to do this. It's too easy to program a human being, okay? It's too easy. And then people are saying, yeah, look at people are coming to you and getting programmed. Well, at least I'm programming them to be their own leaders, not a follower anymore. Have I even asked you to follow me in any which way? Have I told you not to follow me? Have I told you to get everything you need and then go out there and start learning from other people so that you can be better than me? If you're not better than me, we can't have a better world. If you can't be better than me, we cannot have a better world. You need to strive to be better than me, not come in here and go, oh, I can't do what he does. No, I can do way better than him. And that's your mantra. Your mantra is, I can do way better than Daryl. I'm going to find my authentic self. I'm going to find my passion, my purpose, and I'm going to gift the world. That's what you're going to do when you leave here. You're going to have to keep your mouth shut when you go home. And then you're going to have to tell your family that I'm just experimenting with this new diet, because they will not be able to handle that you are going to eat healthy. That will disturb them, because that means that you're going to make them uncomfortable when they eat their garbage. You will be attacked. Just say, you know what, I'm on a 33-day program where I'm going to try to see if I can do this perfect day diet. I want to do it for 33 days. Now their subconscious goes, okay, don't jump her or him. Don't jump them. Back off. We're not threatened. We're not threatened. Remember something, you're not playing games with your family and your friends. You're playing games with their subconscious, which they are not in charge of until they have only unconditional love beliefs for themselves in there and nothing else. Until you have unconditional love and care beliefs for yourself welded into your subconscious, you will never know what it's like to have an authentic BraveHeart day. I think you've been here, you've seen things. You see that I really don't care what goes on. I am what's going on. I need to observe myself if I want wealth on all levels. If I get distracted or become disturbed by you guys, who's that going to benefit? Who's that going to benefit? Everybody here wanted desperately to come here to tell me about their story, their family history, and how it's the worst of anybody in the room. And have I let anybody go through their story? Your story doesn't matter. It only matters to you to make it into a celebration. If you could make everybody that was in your life from the time you got here into a BraveHeart hero instead of a zero, instead of the person that broke you, the person that ruined you. There is nobody that I dislike or hate on this planet. I'm telling you. Are there people that I do not wish to have their frequency or energy near me? Absolutely. But I don't focus on it. You know what? If I don't like turnip, I don't put it on the table. Why do you talk about things you don't like to eat? So you'll talk about things you don't like to eat. I don't talk about them. I will put things up as an observation on my platforms and say, hey, like I said, guys, just putting it out there. Arson's not climate change. Just saying. You know, just only because I don't want people to hate people. I want you to understand something. We can't do anything about the fire, but we can do something about making sure we stand in our beliefs that there is no climate change. If you were to go back and look at the cycles over the last 500 to 1,000 years, we're right on track. Does anybody know that we're actually a little cooler than we were then? And does anybody remember 15 years ago they told us we were going into the ice age, and then that one didn't freeze up into our brain, so they thought that they would boil our brain with hot weather. I like the heat. Can't be hot enough for me, baby. And guess what? I've already proven that, because most people say I'm going to hell, so I just don't care anymore. I don't care for just all the diarrhea. I know who I am. I know what I love, and I'm going to focus on it. And that's what everybody, if they just focused on themselves and what they love and minded their own business and didn't take things personal. So yeah, the guy's a psycho, that Dr. Wolf, but what could I get out of that? He must have one gold nugget there. Isn't it funny how we always, if somebody's beliefs don't match ours, if we can find one thing that we can find that we don't like them, we're going to burn them. You think about how that's the main disease on this planet. Okay? They want us to fight about religion. They want to fight us about color. We'll fight about race, fight about food, and politics. I can't even talk about that. Anybody that's into politics, well, I can't help them. Because that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. There's nobody coming to save us. The government was there to steal your money always. You know, people can think I'm a radical fanatical, but I'm the guy that doesn't pay taxes like the rest of them legally. I'm the one that doesn't have the diseases or the symptoms. I'm the one that can put out 14 hours in a day and still go and play, because I don't have any guilt. I don't have sinner's syndrome. I'm a failure. I know I got to screw up something 10,000 times and I'll perfect it, and then I'll go look for something else to screw up until I perfect that. Life is the adventure. Welcome to planet Earth, a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. My God. So I leave here tomorrow, I go to Melbourne, then I fly to Puerto Rico, okay? And then we have the biggest order in the world coming to indoctrinate our university. Seriously, guys. Think big. Go for it all. And if it scares you a little, okay, just grab onto your heart and know that it's supposed to scare you a little. That's excitement. And then ride that and then fuel it. Like I told you, you know what? If you got a little bit of anxiety, but you got a ton of excitement, you're going to have it. And for God's sakes, do not talk to anybody about your dreams unless you can talk to a dream maker. And that would be nobody probably in your family, none of your friends. Oh yeah, that's a real smart thing to do. Yeah, I was thinking on taking this course, and I'll be gone for 25 days. And so why are you going? Well, I'm going to go learn how to unconditionally love and care for myself. And I'm going to learn the most powerful body work. And then if you're a woman, I'll be staying for another 3 days to learn about the Holy Grail, my pelvis. And then I'm going to come back a totally changed woman. You won't even know who I am. And the only reason why I say that is because, guess what? What do we have? 1, 2, how many men? 3, 6? We have 6 men out of 30. So that's a lot. Usually it's 1 out of 10. And it's only because men are shut down. It's only because men are geared towards making money. That's it. Okay? Right? And then this is off grid. This is about learning how to love and care for yourself. So yes, it's more feminine, but guess what? Do you think men need to find their feminine part to get in touch with their own emotion and feelings so maybe that they wouldn't let the world burn? So from here, well, my next thing I'll be doing will be in Kelowna. And I'll be doing a lecture in Kelowna mid-September. I don't have the dates right here. It's on BraveHeart Nation if you know anybody. And I'll be going live as well. But we're also opening up our clinic Well, right now I've got Genevieve, my daughter, and Sandra. They're doing non-surgical. They're doing cell-sonic. They're doing everything. But the clinic will open officially since I've left when I get there. I can't remember the date. I think it's mid-September or something. And then I'll also be doing a lecture there, a night lecture, and then I'll be doing a grand opening where people can just come and see the clinic and come and ask questions. And then from there we go to Bonita, Florida. It's the last New World Practitioner training of the year. And then from there, we're setting up the university in Puerto Rico still, and also the office for the abundance program for people. And then we're also shutting down 3 fulfillment centers and opening up a huge fulfillment center, huge, in Texas. And then it'll have a clinic that my son, Dr. Sage Wolf, will run. And it'll have a juice bar. And it'll have a training center. So we're going all out. So the reality is this. When you're threatened, you think small. When you're not threatened, you'll hold on to your dreams and think big. Now, you never forget what the world's trying to do, because these psychos do have power to do certain things, but guess what? All of their actions that are preventing me from doing things, they've actually helped guide me to what I really should have done. I just want to thank all the psychos out there. You've really helped me find the way. And now you can bugger off. Okay. But they're never leaving. Because the majority of the population will always let them reign, because the majority of the population believes that that's as good as it gets. All right? Anyways, Sage, come on up. Talk about the non-surgical course and the pelvic course with Alicia coming. And also let people know, Sage, because when we're not doing, slide on in, bud. When we're not doing, come on, come closer. In the crack. Get closer. All right. Okay. De-nipple. Yeah. Now, so when we're not doing courses, Sage travels all over the world. He does certifications, even for, doctors, nurses, chiropractors, or he'll go to a natural health clinic. He'll do certifications for the whole clinic. He also does PTTs. He's got one in North Carolina. So he'll go there and he'll do a PTT and teach the non-surgical, teach the perfect day. He does some emotional stuff. He'll go there for like 7 to 10 days.
7 to 10 days.
And he's teaching a whole family there. And he's traveled the world from India to Japan to, Costa Rica. He goes everywhere. So maybe just give them the kind of dates here as well, because maybe they have family members and also if we've already talked, if before I come back, okay, next July, is it? July? If there is a group that doesn't want to wait and they want a second certification or they want a first certification in Wolf non-surgical, he'll fly back here. Okay? All right? Anyways, tell the dates that you're available and talk about the non-surgical coming up. And then Alicia, you can take over.
Perfect. Okay, so Wolf Non-Surgical, I don't know if all of you are in it, but some of you will be. And so that's just kind of dealing with everything with the body from like head to toe. And we go over like all different types of ailments, injuries, symptomatics that you even have yourself. But like some people do it for themselves, some people do it because they want to run a clinic. It really doesn't matter. I try to make it myself flexible for everybody's personality and what you want. But with my personal treatment and trainings and personal course trainings, people can like hire me to go come into their clinic and train them on how to do this themselves. A lot of people have a hard time taking off 25 days. That's a lot of time to take off to come to a course, and it's amazing that there's a good group here that are able to do that. Some people can't break that up. Some people can't do it all in one, so they want to try to break it up. I'll take a whole life coach here, or I'll take a whole life coach here, and then like I would fly to them and I would train them personally on how to do the Wolf non-surgical. And it depends. Most of the time when I'm going into a family's setting, it's more of a PTT. And so that's kind of specified in like specific ailments that the family is struggling with or their family members have. And then we target those areas and really kind of perfect that. And then we go with the extra time we have into everything that we can. But a personal course training is literally the course that you're going to have here with me. But some people like doing that when they're working their way towards becoming a master practitioner, which is taking the course, the full course 3 times. Some people like the personalized where I come to them because then they're getting worked on by me and then they're working on me. In class, I do prefer you coming to class in general though, at least once, because you do a lot of non-surgical here, but you have so many different bodies. Your injury is going to be different than mine because the way I tore, you have tissue going in all different directions. So constantly creating all these micro tears, I don't know if I have to go to the left, the right, up or down. So we try to teach in a complete, like in all directions, how to do the actual Wolf non-surgical and pull the tissue apart. But it's more like specifying in specific areas for that family and what they need. And then a personal course training is like what we're going to be doing here.
You talk about how you'll go to families where there's a family member that has been written off, or they're going from a cane to a walker to a wheelchair, or they're booked for surgery. I mean, these are the things that he goes in and
I teach you, and that's it. Like I teach you how to because I'll do the heavy lifting. Because at the beginning when you learn Wolf non-surgical, some of you probably saw Dr. Wolf demonstrate a little bit of it. You're not going to be doing that right off the bat. You don't push people past their breaking point, like that threshold, unless they are willing to go there. And so sometimes when I go into a family, I don't really know their personalities. I don't know how they are. So they're not willing to let go that much. But I'm kind of in there doing the heavy lifting, doing all the cleanup, so then the family can do the little pieces and get them to where they need to go in the very end. But it's kind of creating like a whole lifestyle. So yes, I do Wolf non-surgical, but I'll also it's nice to be in like your realm. It's nice to be in your realm and like your like kind of personal space because I can see what you eat. I see how your family treats each other. And I'm not picking on you, but you're hiring me to pick apart your life to say, we're kind of falling down here. We're not really bringing ourselves to the best of our abilities. We're not really treating each other with the most respect that we possibly could. So we're not bringing ourselves up to that level. And so we come in, and I can either do PTTs, which is personal treatment and training, or personal course trainings. I have time off. Well, not really. There is no time off ever. But I have breaks right now to do personal course trainings and PTTs from like the first week of September to the end of September. And then I'll be doing the course with Dr. Wolf in Florida. And then I have all of November right now free before I'm going to be kind of settling in Texas to really get that fulfillment center going and our training center going. Because I was just out there for a day prior to coming here, and I saw it's a big building. There's a lot of stuff we got to build. There's a lot of areas I got to just redo. Like there's a lot of remodeling to this building that I want to do. And I have crazy ideas for it, and so I will need to be spending a good amount of time like in the Dallas area. But anytime somebody wants to like hire me to go out and train them or train their family, it's kind of just like go to braveheartnation.com and like you can find most of our scheduling there. But if not, and you're interested in something like this, like my number is 250-801-5673. You could contact me or just contact the office or Dr. Wolf himself, and we can get that situated where we can kind of set that up for you either personally or I can come out and get a full course going for you guys. So we kind of take it to the next level. There's really no limitations with it. How far do you want to take your health? How healthy do you want to be? What does your perfect health look like? And we want to help you get there. And so Wolf non-surgical is going to be like kind of, if you're already a practitioner, I think all modalities are wonderful. Nothing will do what we do. And that's not me being like, oh, it's the best thing. You're not going to get the results unless you actually go like bone deep. And we're going bone deep to the displaced calcium, to the areas that are actually fully adhesing you and causing you to have those limitations. So I'm just here to help you, show you guys that we can take our power back, and we're gonna have a wicked week. So
we still have two spots left. I know it starts on Tuesday.
Yeah, it starts on Tuesday, but there's 2 spots left if you guys are in the Coffs Harbor area. I'm like, where am I? If you're in this area and you want to come out, come join. We're gonna have some great time. I'm gonna hand it off and let Alicia talk about the pelvic course. Other than that, you guys have a beautiful day.
Hi everyone. So the pelvic course actually starts here in Nambucca Heads on September 4th to the 6th. What the pelvic restoration course and disease prevention is really for is for women to connect with their divine feminine and actually unleash their creative sexual energy for healing and for vibrancy in life. I ask the women out there, what is your idea of caring for yourself? Is it, putting your makeup on in the mirror? Like, we put these chemicals all over our body all the time, and then we wonder why we have hormonal disruption. We wonder why we have female pelvic dysfunction, and there's a number of reasons that these things occur. One, are we looking after ourselves on an emotional level? Because I can guarantee you most of us are not. We're putting the makeup on because we don't think we're pretty enough, right? Or we're wanting to change how we look, and we don't actually look and connect with ourselves. The other thing is we're typically running around caring for everybody but ourselves. So when you take the time to come to the pelvic course, you're taking the time to nourish, honor, and respect yourself, and setting an intent to truly connect with your divine feminine. For a lot of women, for myself included, or just was very cut off from that area. You don't talk about it. It's very taboo, and it's like, it's for pleasure and for baby making, but like, turn off the lights, don't get connected with that area. So it's, we cover some things where you really go deep and you connect to that vital, sensual, sexual energy and honor your ovarian palace. That being said, we learn about the common dysfunctions and just what you can do on the physical level, but also on the emotional level to bring up the vibration of that area. For most of us, it's sitting at the bottom of a swamp, right? So let's clean up the environment of that area, and you will be blown away at the way that the body has the ability to restore and to heal. Like, just because you have endometriosis, or you have fibroids, or you have ovarian cysts, or maybe you have incontinence, or you have infertility, all of that, the body can reverse if we clean up the environment. So it is, I say first and foremost, it is the emotional level. Then you address the physical level, and you put in the high frequency nutraceuticals, and you nourish your body, and you take time for you. When you come to the course, ladies, you are gifting yourself with time for you, to connect to you in a way I can pretty much guarantee you have not, right? I know I hadn't. And then of course there's the physical level, moving the body and turning your attention and intent inwards, right? To feel those finer muscles. And it is like taking your vaginal canal to the gym, I have to say. And it's amazing what your body can do when you facilitate it. So we kind of look from all angles and empower that beautiful you, right? And take that self-care to a new level, right? Because what we've been trained is self-care is really not true self-care, right? Not to mention the Nambucca Heads area is absolutely beautiful. I think there's 2 or 3 spots left in the pelvic course, and then after that we go to Bonita Springs, Florida, and that is October 27th, 28th, 29th, if I remember correctly. And then there will be some moving on into the new year. And then us ladies also do personal treatment and trainings for pelvic restoration as well. So you can check that out on the website. We also have consultations for pelvic restoration, and you can find that on bhnuniversity.com. Just click on consultations, and we can do pelvic restoration specific. Really, the root cause of all female pelvic dysfunction comes down to that wonderful inflammation, right? So I just want to say, ladies, if you have issues down there, come to this course, go on the website, take a look, and empower yourself. If you're ready to take massive personal action, there's nothing you can't do. All right? Have a beautiful day. 3, 2, 1, here's my bracelet. You got this.